2. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton Show with Yolanda M. Smith, the Branthropist. Today, we're still carrying on that topic, independent artists. And in studio, I'm going to let her introduce herself because not only does she have an awesome voice, not only does she come from a history of talent Indiana's own recording artist, and she's definitely carrying that tradition on. I'm going to let her take it from here.
Yo, the
What's
name's
up?
TheeAllyE. What's going on?
What's up, TheeAllyE? So, welcome to the show. I saw you first, I believe it was last week, at a thing that Uncle Jams and some other individuals, radio artists or producers was promoting. Tell me who you are, what's the mission, what's the goal. Take the viewers down the alley.
Okay. Well, the name is Allison Edmonds. I go by TheeAllyE. And basically, I kind of, just am looking to kind of expand and kind of give a different taste, the vibe of R&B, music. Come from, like you said, a rich bloodline of musical talent.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, just trying to work hard to kind of bring something different to the game and, just kind of just step out with my voice and just make some good music, right? So
we was rapping. I like to use that word. We was rapping.
Chopping it up.
Before the show. So let's start with you in general, in that bloodline that you talk about. Let's talk about you, how the music was introduced to you, and just take our time. Let's go with it.
Okay. Well, I've been, I've been singing since church choir, maybe about 5 years old.
That's usually how it starts for us.
Yeah, for sure. That's how it starts in the family. So, born and raised on the east side, grew up in church, was singing. I did show choir in high school, won a few talent shows, just stuff like that. College, I kind of started to focus on my career. We get into that. But once I started writing music, I kind of just... It kind of was a slow start for me as far as getting out into the city and for people to kind of recognize me. I put the project out and didn't kind of really get much, feedback. Of course, like my friends and family were supporting me. But it took a while for me to really get out there. I didn't really do any shows in that first year. And so I kind of just rode the wave of just the streams and, trying to just get people to just kind of tap into, my voice and stuff like that, aside from covers and stuff like that. And then it was fast forward to like a year later, I started, doing some shows, and then all of a sudden, I make this connection, and the next thing I know, I'm making more connections, and it's like, okay, now I'm doing some shows.
That's usually,
now,
that's usually
it's like,
what happens.
Yeah, so everything just kind of started, just kind of going up from there. It's really been in the last like 9 or 10 months or so.
So you said you was in the church. When did you really decide you wanted to pursue this?
It honestly wasn't until after I graduated college.
What did you go to college for? What was your first interest before that?
I've been into broadcasting and television since 3rd grade.
What up?
So it's like, it's all between TV, on air, off air, video, anything that comes with the TV and production side of hosting, anything like that.
Right.
That's been my first love. And so I went to school to do that and kind of just wanted to focus on the career side of it. But I still wrote songs on the side.
So while you were in class, you're still bobbing and moving.
I'm still writing some stuff, and I'm sharing it with my friends. What y'all think of this? But never really took a serious book studio time, nothing like that. And then just
what's it like to write? Mine was the last guest we had on here were independent artists. I was telling them about my brother and how I just sat there and watched him one day just literally throw some lines down.
That's right.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, where did that bloodline, which we were talking about, where did that bloodline come from? Because it didn't come from me.
It's a beautiful process, honestly, and it depends on like the topic that you kind of writing about.
How do you pick your topics?
It depends on mood for me.
Yeah.
I know you have to go through like life experiences
right.
and kind of just go through stuff before you can kind of write a good song.
What are you going through at I'm not even going to tell your age. What have you gone through?
Listen here. I've been married for a little over 2 years, and we trying to work things out. Okay. Love ain't easy. And
you need to write that.
That's actually, I'm pretty sure, going to be the title of the album, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I might be sold on that, but it's just been, you know, a road, a journey, and, you know, writing a song, it definitely takes some life experience, and, you know, just kind of just letting the pen flow and not trying to make up, you know, stuff, just kind of more like a poem or, you know, something like that. Or sometimes I'll get inspired by a beat and I'll just write from there, you know, just gotta do a freestyle real quick.
So how much of your music from your college years and once you start doing it, have you gone back and looked at some of that? Have you bought any of the old stuff that you wrote and
into the
amplified
new?
It? Yeah, into this generation.
Actually, yes. There was one song actually that I wrote back in maybe like 2019, 2018 that's actually going to be on this next project.
Don't talk about that yet.
I'm not going, but just saying as far as like revamping a song, because somebody asked me that the other day, what's the oldest song on the, you know, on that, and I just was like, you know, I did. It's like sometimes I'll have two pieces of a song and be like, okay, well this kind of sounds good. Maybe I'll just mash them together and then make one song out of that. So it kind of just depends, but it's all about process and your move.
When you went to school, you know, for broadcasting, engineering, video production, how did you manifest that to your family? You know, and say, hey, you look, I like this. I'm making a career out of it because that's what you're doing now. But I really got this bloodline. I feel something in me that I want to do this. Were they open to it? Was the family supportive of it? What was the change here? Because you're going from one career to an unexplored career, but you know you have this inside your heart to write and sing and produce.
It's crazy because when I first applied to Ball State, I applied for their music program, and I didn't get in, which is crazy, right?
Yeah, that's real crazy. Let me call first thing tomorrow. It's Monday. I
didn't get in. So that kind of, I don't know if that was something that kind of churned my thoughts. It's like, okay, maybe broadcasting is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Were you upset?
It took me back.
Okay.
But I knew that music was always second, I guess. And I knew, I don't know, maybe it was also something in me that was like growing up, you know, when your parents say, you know, you got to have a reliable job or, you know, reliable income or something like that. To me, it was always like music, that's like a side thing. That's a side hustle.
Is that how they looked at it until you found something?
They just wanted me to always be smart about my decisions and make sure that I could support, you know, myself and, you know, my dream. They always going to have my back. Right. They supported me through the audition process at Ball State. And then when I, you know, told them, you know, that I kind of wanted to explore performing, you know, they've been at every show. They've just been, you know, very supportive, right, you know. Yeah. So, like, my parents are definitely day ones. They've been together for 35 years, something like that. So
wait, go back. What's that song you getting ready to write? Marriage Ain't Easy.
Love Ain't Easy.
Love Ain't Easy. You better get them on the soundtrack.
Okay, man, it's definitely not. But they definitely in my corner. They support me. They're always asking questions, you know, making sure I got things together, giving me feedback on music and stuff like that. So family is definitely.
Let's talk about that bloodline now.
Okay.
You mentioned family. We've been rapping. Your last name. Let the viewers know what that last name is.
Edmonds.
And see, look now. We were supposed to do Zoom, and I was like, okay, just come on in.
Like, no.
Yeah, so I looked back at the name, and I was like, okay, that name is familiar. Take us down that legend of that name and your family in that bloodline. I don't really want to give it away.
Okay. Well, Edmonds, as many know, is the last name of Babyface. So we are indeed same bloodline. His grandfather and my dad's grandfather, I'm sorry, Babyface's great grandfather and my dad's grandfather were brothers. So cousins along some extent.
That's some serious bloodline.
It's some serious bloodline.
Now you see why that singing was in the.
It's crazy.
That songwriting.
It's crazy, yeah, because it's like, you know, you don't really know where it comes from because nobody else really in my family does music. It's like in my close family that really does music. I have a cousin that raps, but other than that, it was just like, okay, where's this talent, coming from type of thing. So been born and raised here in Indiana, and kind of just been trying to get in touch with that music, the Edmonds side, and then just recently I've been connected with Edmonds Music Incorporated.
That's great. That's great.
The son of Melvin Senior, so
Right.
Melvin Jr. is ahead of that. Him and his wife, Brandon, Kenny's son, is also behind it too. So
Now, are they in Indianapolis area? Or are they? Because we know, I think, believe it or not, is Babyface still in Atlanta?
Yeah, he's not. They're not here. I know Melvin is in. What's he said? He said Mississippi, Missouri, somewhere out south. But no, none of them are here.
It would
locally.
be nice if, for some way, I'm just throwing this out here, you can be that new center to the Babyface legacy.
That would be
here.
crazy.
That would be like,
It would be crazy.
Believe me, I love
We can
Babyface.
say
I
it
rolled
happened.
down the street when I was young, man, in my Fiero, and I had Babyface bumping.
And his songwriting skills are immaculate. So it's just like like a living legend for sure. It's like just the fact of just even getting pointers from him on
Right.
songwriting or his motivation behind music and stuff like that. It would just be
I could be a songwriter.
Hey, a lot of people can. All you got to do is just put your heart into it. It's
So, you come from good genetic genes and so forth. What's your actual end game here?
end game.
What's the end game? Because it goes back to what your mom and dad was talking about. You got a great career, but no, who said you can't? This can't also be a career.
Exactly.
I mean, so what's the end game? Let me go back. Let's
Okay.
rephrase it.
Okay.
Rewind. Let's talk about the work that you've already put out, and then let's go with the end game.
Okay. As far as music or my career.
Music.
Music, okay.
This is straight up
Straight up
independent
music.
artist.
We music,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
But you see, you put out some. Let me rephrase this. You guys, we don't put out. Look, I'm taking claim. We don't put out albums anymore. We put out.
what I said, EPs.
What is an EP, and how do you do that? And what's it like to put it out and get the exposure?
For sure. So my thought process behind originally putting out an EP when I first put out music was to at least just give people just kind of a short snippet. I didn't want to give them too much music to where it's like, okay, I'm bored, or I'm kind of switch to something else. The EP is basically like an extended playlist. So it's shorter than 30 minutes, but it's longer than like a single or like 10 minutes or something like that.
Is it like a hook?
No, I mean, it's just like just a super small project, I
Okay.
guess, to an extent. It's like 4 singles put into one type of thing.
Okay.
So I basically put out the 4 songs on my EP in July of 2021. The anniversary is coming up. Make sure y'all stream that.
How can they stream it?
It's on everything.
On
TheeAllyE on Apple Music, Spotify, everything, YouTube, everything.
I see you, girl.
So, I mean, after that, it was just kind of like just giving people a little here and there. And then, like I said, I have kind of just been doing a lot with just trying to get myself out there in the city. And that first year was really just focusing on the music.
Right.
And then after that year, it was like, okay, kind of had to talk with God a little bit. Like, I kind of want to really pursue music a little more. I kind of want to have more opportunities in my life. This is kind of the
Right.
direction I want to head towards. So next thing I know, I'm getting asked left and right to do shows. And then it was like, okay, I start counting up. It's been like 16 shows in the last like 10 months. And so it's just been a blessing, like being able to kind of get out in the city and people starting to recognize who I am.
How do you know? How did you do your recon on what is going to be that particular song or that particular rhyme or reason that people going to gravitate to? Because let's get real, the music industry is huge.
Yeah.
And you have to be multitasked to some degree because
Right.
you can't put all your eggs in one basket. How did you test the water and to find out what is going to be accepted and long-term accepted to some degree? Because you're
feel
switching over careers.
I feel that.
You wasn't prepared for that.
For me, I'm trying to think. I mean, honestly, though, for me, it's like when I thought about the EP, it was like, let me give them a little bit of everything I can kind of do. So I can sing, I can hit some notes, high notes, low notes. I can kind of rap a little bit. I have also kind of like, a raspy type of vibe, R&B, soul type of thing. So I kind of wanted to just mix everything up to kind of give people a taste to see which song they would kind of gravitate to.
Right.
And then I kind of took that and was like, okay, this is kind of the popular song, or they like this, so let me try to like make that the vibe for my project and kind of, you know, try to go that avenue. And so that's kind of the rate I took it. But I mean, the EP, I've heard a lot of different things from different people, but there was one song that stuck out, which was Dreams. I feel like that's a pretty favorite. And so I kind of, and it's a real song. It's about basically like my life growing up, talking about how I first wrote my first song at 14 years old. I grew up in a 2-parent household. You know, music and family is really everything, you know, that my life is about. And just kind of just walks through things that my dad went through, mom went through, and just kind of just believing in your dreams, because you never know where you're going to be.
How much of that recon work allowed you to change your actual goal? Like, say for instance, you grew up in the church and the R&B and so forth. When you put out the different samples, what were they gravitating to more, and was that part of the gravitation that you wanted? Because you had to have a certain vibe that you wanted to do.
Right.
How much of the audience influence had you go back and go, wow, you know, I really wasn't expecting to go that way, but they're feeling it, and so take it from here.
Actually, now that you say that, the song Dreams is actually my favorite song on the EP, so it was kind of nice, and it was the final song that I added to the small project, so it was nice to have feedback from people that was like, wow, this is really a real song. Like, when I first wrote the song, I heard the beat, and I was like, oh, this is like a Drake type of beat. So I was like, Drake, when he writes, he, like, the old Drake, he really gives you that real, like...
I used to like the old Drake.
The old
new
Drake,
one...
Yeah, old Drake. I'm talking old Drake. Inspiration from that. It
Yeah.
was like, you know, talking about the real of just, like, your life, or kind of just a story. You know, I wanted it to be a story.
Like fireworks?
Yeah, just... Yeah. Man, like...
Yeah.
Just crazy. So, like... So that was kind of the inspiration with that. And, you know, I always am going to make sure that I'm happy with my work and my, you know, my stuff too. But audience influence is, you know, it's important. And I'm not going to really change who I am, but I always will take it into consideration for...
What is your style? What is your style? We know Aretha Franklin has a style. We know Babyface has a style. We know Luther has a style.
Yeah.
What's your style without the audience or the involved in it? What would you like?
My style is very...
Because you're going to blow in a minute.
My style is real chill and relaxed. It's like, I kind of want to compare, you know, not really comparing, but when we think of, you know, the late great Aaliyah and her vibe and her swag, like, it's kind of like, you know, the chill, the fellas love her, the ladies love her, you know, it's like, and the voice is just, you know, is there. You know, she was beautiful, and she just had that voice. It was just like, okay, we can rock with her. Yeah. And so, like, I kind of want people to just, you know,
I made in my head going back and forth.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, just you know, being an individual. I want people to see me as a creative and not really, like, comparing me to really anybody else. Like, oh, she's in her own lane. She does a little R&B. She does a little soul. But, you know, she can vibe, and, you know, she can, you know, she just has her own style, and you can't really, she's in her kind of the own lane, and that's kind of the route I'm trying to.
Who were your biggest, let me use Yolanda's words, your biggest influencers? I got you, boy. I'm coming at them. I'm coming at them, dog.
Biggest influencers, man.
That's a tough one, because there's so many great artists.
Every time somebody asks me this question, man, I'm just like, man. It really takes some time to, like, think about it, like, for sure. For me, I know growing up, Alicia Keys was one of my favorite artists as far as, like, her style and, you know, her voice and just everything like that. I loved Alicia Keys. I'm very inspired by her. Sade, she's another one, old school. Like, her vibe and just, like, the way you feel when you listen to her songs is like, I want people to feel something when you listening. You know what I mean? Sure. Guys in the game. Obviously, we talked about Babyface and, you know, his songwriting and stuff like that. Chris Brown, when we come to new school, I know people ain't really fans of him, but that man is talented, and he's one of my favorite artists. And just from his dancing, his musical vision, from writing to videos. I mean, it's like just inspired kind of by the amount of music that he can put out, and for people to still like be rocking with every song. You can put out 32, album, song album, and it'd be crazy. Like,
now, speaking of Chris Brown, and you mentioned the choreography, when you're performing, do you do a choreography type routine, or you just go out and just like Sade, you just, hey, I'm here to perform. You just vibe.
Well, right now, so far I've only been kind of just vibing. I haven't really had any choreography or nothing like that. I have been kind of thinking about these next videos that I want to shoot, trying to do incorporating some choreography and doing some stuff like that. It ain't like
you don't know how to do it.
Yeah, for sure. All I need is somebody to come up with a routine, and I'm down. I can hit the moves, but
yeah.
So I want to expand. So kind of like my goal now, I just turned 28, so I'm kind of looking at it as like a new year for me. So going into this, it's like, okay, what do you want to add to your performance now? It's like, gotta have a little dance, or have some people behind me to back that up. So it's not something I'm opposed to. It's just something I haven't really kind of tapped into.
Right.
So.
When you went to that event with Uncle Jams, what did you get from that event? What did you walk away from? I know you performed there, but what did you walk away from? And I like the fact that I was able to get invited and see such a talent of young artists.
Man, they were crazy out there.
Yeah. I didn't know what I was walking into. I was like, wow, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But what did you walk away with when you did that?
First of all, shout out to everybody that was involved with that.
Yeah.
All the artists were incredible.
Yeah.
All of the panelists, everybody who put it together, everybody who got awards, just phenomenal event. I kind of didn't really know what I was walking into. Like you said, it's like a music conference. Okay, I know I'm performing. I know it's going to be people there.
Right.
But after, it was like just really getting insight of the business, or as far as what people expect on social media, or just the game, what people are looking for, like the connections that you make, or it was just refreshing to kind of be in a room with all of the people with the same mindset, and kind of mission. And
you had some legends in there too.
For sure. I mean, crazy. And it's like, you don't even really know until it's like,
well, I didn't know it. I was like, wow, okay, I learned something.
Yeah. So it's like, definitely met some people in there, like Nutbush, he's platinum writing artist. It's just crazy.
He was here, and I said, look, you got platinum records. They need to be hitching the wagon on you, man.
No, for real. Yeah. And he's like, trying to work. It's like, I would love to work with you. So we, trying to do something like that. But it was just crazy to kind of just, like I said, be in a room with other artists, older, younger, other people that's been in the business, and just kind of get insight. Because that's what it's all about. Always just making connections. You always going to learn something new talking to somebody, in a room that, you're not really familiar with, or there's people of higher stature in there. So I think overall it was just a learning experience for just, the head, like the focus for moving forward in the business. So.
What's your end game?
The end game is to not only be successful, but to touch as many people as I can with my music. I honestly want to be able to become a big time artist. But that's not really what it's all about for me.
What's the odds? I think people don't really understand the odds in the work and the way you have to network and make these connections.
It's definitely, I've noticed, all about who you know. You can have all the talent in the world. I've seen some people with some amazing vocals, but it's like they only got 500 followers on Instagram or something like that. It's like, dang, where's your people at? Who's following you or whatever? It's like the connections, getting out here every day, signing up for open mics. That's how I met Gino.
Really?
I signed up for an open mic one night, and he was there. And next thing I know, he's posting me on Facebook talking about, I need to know who this artist is so that we can connect.
I was telling somebody, I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Always.
Yeah. You never know.
And being in the right place at the right time. It's like, I wouldn't have signed up for that. Or, it could have been just like, I don't feel like going. It's like, I would have missed that opportunity to meet him, to meet Uncle Sid, to be performing at the Jazz Kitchen. I mean, every single thing kind of was based off of that. And so it's like, connection for me is that was the light bulb. It's like, okay, I need to be meeting everybody that I can, because who knows where that's going to take me. So end game is just to inspire people and just kind of just touch as many people as I can with music, and also just get in touch with the Edmonds legacy and just kind of carry it out.
Bring the legacy back home.
Back back home.
Yeah, bring it back home.
Back
that
home.
would be like, we talked about this. That's creating that generation,
Yep.
and where it started at back here,
Yep.
and let's make the new Atlanta,
Yeah.
Indiana. You know, I see you doing that.
For
Seriously.
sure. It's like, man, it's so many things that you can do, and I always want to help the next artist or be in a position to be able to do something like that. So
Speaking of next artist, before our time wraps up, you've already collaborated with a couple local artists here, correct?
yeah, first project I collaborated with this guy named All Wall. He's a local rapper. And then I recently have a single out called Foolish with Kelsey Marie.
Okay.
We just met in the last 6 months through Gino, actually. So
Okay.
just crazy. But we have a song. It'll be coming out on my project here in the next month. So yeah, we're actually performing at a show coming up, the Summerfest through Underground Sound. Which
How can the individuals get in contact for that show and get in contact with you before, and then we'll keep going because I want them to be able to reach out and support you.
Oh, as far as like my socials and handles and stuff, TheeAllyE is under everything. TheeAllyE. That's Facebook, Instagram, everything. TheeAllyE. So
You can't mess with that.
TheeAllyE@gmail.com too for any business inquiries as well.
So that album collaboration, not album, let me rephrase it. That
single.
That single's getting ready to drop
Yeah.
with you and your girl. What's the most exciting part about working with her and getting ready to drop that single?
Well, it was cool for me because this was my first time working with like a female singer, like artist on like something of my own. So it was nice because I kind of had the vision and I was like, I need a female on this song, but I hadn't really known who it was yet. And then when I heard Kelsey and heard her music, I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of need you on this song. So we kind of collaborated with it, spent some time in the studio, and it was just nice to vibe with somebody like different with, you know, just a different experience.
How did you get the information to her? And was you worried about her response? Was she the first person you reached out to?
Actually, yeah, I had another person in mind. I didn't reach out, but once I met Kelsey, and then we were kind of talking about them possibly doing. This was like January when they were saying we were going to do a show at the Jazz Kitchen. I said, okay, maybe me and Kelsey need to do a song together. And so after that, it was pretty much, I was like, I got a beat. And I was like, I got a chorus to it. And I was like, let me see, how it fits. And then I sent it over to her. I recorded like a voice recording and then sent her my part of the song. And then next thing you know, she sent me something back. I was like, okay, let's go to the studio and lay it down.
So the end game now is what? Just living your life,
Yeah,
pursuing
just
your dream?
I'm balancing producing, TV, my career, along with performing and stuff, and I kind of just want to balance the two to see where things go. I know I could be successful with my career, but my first career, but I know things could pop off with music. It's not guaranteed, but I'm hopeful.
You're having fun doing it.
I'm working
anyway.
hard. Yeah, it's fun for me. So it's like I said, it's not about being big time. It's just about inspiring the next for sure.
We got a two-part to this. First of all, leave the viewers with something inspirational. Then right after that, you got 3 parts. You got your job cut out for you now. After that, you're going to blow a little bit of your favorite song.
Okay.
Your favorite song. And then I'm going to let you close out the Andre the Beast Crayton show.
Okay.
Because I'm going to sit back and just listen.
Oh, man. Okay, so the first thing you said, because I done ran through back. Okay, so.
Leave them with something
inspirational.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Inspirational. Only thing I could say is be your true self when it comes to creativity. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to do a certain thing a certain way or be a certain person to do something. Be just authentically you, and you'll come out with the best results as far as whether it's any creative aspect. Just be authentically you. I would say.
Give me a blow. You got the mic.
Man, got me on the spot. Okay, you said you want me to sing that song I had sung before?
No.
Yes, whatever.
Yeah. Do Dreams. I'll do the one that really inspired you when you was 14.
Okay.
You remember the lyrics?
Yeah, I do. I was 14 when I wrote my first song. Her 4 was the street that I stayed on. Grew up two parents in my home. Family and music is the only things I know. Music is the beat in which my heart flow. Girls on girls, that's the that I like though. Time pass, I delete things like typos. It's been a little while since we talked, that's life though. Never lost sight of you in them tight clothes. Say I'm always busy when you free, well let's change roles. Day in the life of a woman with big goals. Sourcing on the show with skull, you get exposed. Girl from high school used to draw on fake moles. Separate the real from fake, man, I hate those. Man, I need it all, ACH like payroll. Nigga walked in screaming, long live bankroll. I have a dream that one day I'ma really be famous. Ay. Switch up the flow so you know that I can really be dangerous, baby. Niggas be capping about what they be rapping about, baby. He told me, believe in your dream.
Close the show out, baby girl.
Hey, this is Andre the Beast Crayton show. Thank you for having me, man.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton show.
Turn up.
Okay, that was tight.
Good.
That was great. I also think in your outro, you should probably add just a little bit of your. You noted to it a couple of times about your previous career. You're switching careers, what you went to. And then I just had a question like what's been your most painful moment getting to this point, your path getting to this path.
Okay, I feel that.
Okay, wait, because these out so they don't restart. Lay that one on. It's still rolling, right?
Yeah, we're still rolling. Yeah, we're good.
That was good, man.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
Good,
that was
thank you.
good.
That's good.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I'm gonna edit this part tonight, and this will go up. This will go up tonight. This will go
Okay,
up today.
cool.
Then I
That's
edit the
exciting.
actual thing this weekend. Okay, so let's do a quick one. On this episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton show, we're talking with TheeAllyE. Now we got to come in strong. TheeAllyE.
TheeAllyE, you got it. You know
then,
it.
And then what you do is you just take it and just tell them what they're gonna look forward on this show. Okay,
Okay.
ready?
So it's kind of like a preview, like an advertisement. Okay.
This comes out before, like I did the boys their trailer. What's K Rob
the
and
singer,
and
and the other dude.
God, the other dude, we could not hear him. It was hard as hell to edit his.
Really?
I mean, you hear how loud the things ain't even up, and we couldn't even. We had his at high.
The
You
other
wasn't here.
dude. Yeah, I don't even remember his name because I didn't get to see him perform either. But I've seen it on
Candy.
Oh yeah,
Candy.
The 1-on-1 something on his Instagram or something.
Yeah, he's like his voice is like so soft, and but in here it amplifies. So I'm like, okay, ain't gonna be a problem. So
Yeah.
when we went back to do the post, I was like, okay, we can, what can he hear this dude? Okay, so let's get ready to rock and roll. Okay, on this episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton show, we're talking music generation with no other than the world famous. Notice I said that the world famous Miss Allie E.
Yeah. TheeAllyE, what's going on?
What's going on?
So sorry,
Let's do it again.
How do you want me to just say like, yo, it's TheeAllyE, I'm on Andre the Beast Crayton show, we talking, and then just kind of go from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got like, what is it? Like we got less than 30 seconds? It's like 30 seconds teaser?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
On this episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton, we're talking musical generation with the one and only Indiana's own Allie E.
Yeah. TheeAllyE on Andre the Beast Crayton show. We talking independent music. We talking albums. We talking performances. We talking that Edmonds bloodline. Everything you want to know about TheeAllyE right here on Andre the Beast Crayton show.
That and more of the Andre the Beast Crayton show. Yeah, let's cut it.
Cool.
That's tight. That's tight.
Bet.
Hey, stop it.
Are you ready?
Yeah, stop it. Let me go in there and play.